So when we built out this camper van, it's built out of a U-Haul box truck. I installed this right here, which is a mini split residential unit, mini split HVAC system. Gives me heat and air conditioning. And last summer, we were able to try out the air conditioning in a big way because we spent a lot of time in the desert in southern Utah in the middle of the summer.
Right, over 100 degrees.
Yep.
And it did great.
But we've never really had an opportunity to try the heat portion. You just turn it around, make it run the opposite direction, and you get heat out of it.
Yeah, we had it a little bit up in the mountains in Colorado, but not like this cold.
Right. So now we have we had an opportunity last night to try out this as the heater.
Yes.
Well, hey everybody, I'm Bill.
And I'm Elizabeth. Live simple.
Live free.
We are actually on our way back up to Virginia. Now, normally we only go up for just a couple weeks, maybe right around Christmas, because I am going to be with kids and grandkids at Christmas time. But this year is a little bit different for a couple of reasons. One is that our granddaughter is a senior this year, and this is her last choir Christmas concert coming up, and I just wanted to be there. She'll be graduating. Our grandson's getting his associate's degree. They're growing up, and I wanted to be there for her Christmas concert. So we're going to have a longer time in Virginia this time. I'm going to do all my decorating in Virginia.
All right, so now we've actually had, like I said, the first opportunity to really try this out because we drove about halfway home and we're in northern Georgia right now. And this is the middle of this cold snap, record-breaking cold snap on the East Coast. It was 26 degrees last night.
Yep.
And so we really got a chance to try out the heater. I turned it on last night at 7 p.m. and it ran all night and until 8 p.m. in the morning, 13 hours. And so let's go and see how it did. Okay, so let's see how we did here. 26%. 26%. That'll work. 26%. That's amazing.
Yes.
That it ran 13 hours. Now let me tell you a little bit more about it because when we first turned this is the inside unit, by the way, for the mini split. When I first turned it on, the batteries were not at 100%. They were at 87%. So it ran all night for 13 hours, starting at 87%, went down to 26%. When we first got back here, I had it at 68 degrees, and then when we went to bed, I turned it down to 65, and it was 26 degrees outside, like I said. So if it had started at 100%, it probably would have only come down to 40% on the battery banks, because this runs 100% on the batteries.
Yes,
now,
everything's running on the battery.
I mean, we can plug it into shore power if it were in an RV park, but I wanted to go off grid, so that's what we've got, and it worked really well.
And that was just enough of a temperature that with having our sleeping bags, we were very toasty warm, and I love sleeping where the air is cool as long as I can keep snuggled up warm. It's very comfortable.
So now the sun is up, it's starting to charge again because I got the 1200 watts of solar panels on the roof, and then as we start to drive, then it'll also charge from the engine. So it charges from the solar panels and from the engine at the same time. So at that rate, it'll probably be fully charged by noon.
You know, this is something that Bill has dreamed of for ages because he has wanted so much to be able to actually go off grid and explore. And it's wonderful after all the really hard work he put in. And I'm telling you guys, I'm sure you saw enough of it to realize how hard he has worked on this thing. But to have it all work well. You know, we've really tested the AC, we've really tested the heat, all the systems. And he's got more fancy-fying to do in here. But I'm just so thrilled that it works just like it's supposed to. And I'm happy for you, sweetheart. I mean, for me too, but this is something he has dreamed of for a long time.
You know, to be honest, I was a little bit nervous about this because I really didn't know how it would do with the heat. I don't know why I was worried about it, but if you're running the air conditioning and the batteries die and you have to turn it off, then you sweat. If it's 26 degrees out and the batteries die, then you're going to freeze. Like it could be dangerous. And I could see us getting up in the middle of the night and starting to drive just to get engine heat coming.
Yeah, but you know,
it turned out that wasn't the case at all.
if you've got warm covers, honestly, for me, I would rather it ended up too cold and I had to really cuddle under a lot of covers than to end up too hot and I don't have anywhere to, any way to get cooler. So yeah, he was a little apprehensive. But it's just worked beautifully.
So anyway, yeah, it's worked just the way I planned. I'm absolutely thrilled to death with our whole system. We both really love our camper truck, the way we built it. But personally, I think this is the best feature in the whole thing.
And he does not like a lot of ambient white noise when he's trying to rest. He never has. A lot of people like a fan on or something. It drives him bananas. He likes it quiet. And this thing is amazingly quiet, and I think that's another thing that you have really appreciated.
When you compare this to a typical roof-mounted RV air conditioner, it draws about probably at least twice as much power than this, or more, and it's loud.
Yeah.
This thing is very efficient, doesn't draw much power, and it's almost completely silent. When it first starts up, you can hear a little bit of rumble from the outside unit on the wall, but as soon as you get over that initial startup, it gets real quiet.
I got tickled at Bill yesterday. He said, "You know what happens when the heat's on and you're standing outside getting something out of the toolbox out there where the outside unit is?" He said it blows cold.
Yeah.
It'd be about froze.
Because the way this works, it's basically just an air conditioner. To get heat, you just flip a switch and it runs backwards, so it's blowing the cold air out and the hot air in.
Right.
And the air coming out of there was probably just barely above freezing. It was really cold.
You're like, I got to get inside where it's warm.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool because then when we need AC, it blows the heat out and keeps the cool in.
Yeah.
It's a good system.
Yep.
So, all right. And I tell you, we've taken this on enough bouncy, jouncy, definite trips to know.
Yeah, there's another thing. When I was first installing this, I got a lot of comments. Probably not so much from subscribers from you guys, but typically 75% of the people that view our videos are not subscribed. And a lot of comments may have come from that, but a lot of comments criticizing, saying it's not going to work, saying that it's going to fall off the back, or
it'll bounce off,
or the vibration of going down the road is going to break pieces inside. That sort of thing. Well, I asked the guy who installed it about the vibration, and he said when it runs, it vibrates.
Yeah.
And he says it's not going to be a problem.
Well, in fact, the guy, our friend, he is a HVAC guy. That's what he does for a living. So yeah, he said it vibrates anyway. Don't worry about it.
So we've been driving it now with that on the back for probably 9 months.
Yeah, and on some rough roads at
some
times.
Really rough roads out in Colorado, and so we've got probably 12,000 miles on it because of our big trip out west since we installed that, and it's still mounted rock solid and it's still pouring out heat. So I'm just tickled pink with the whole system. I don't know why they don't put mini splits in RVs.
Yeah, it sure has worked well, you know.
Yeah.
And it's on a real sturdy, strong wall, and it just, anyway, we're very grateful because when we need this to give us the shelter we need wherever we are, it's doing that.
Yep.
Wow.
We've also discovered that we like Cracker Barrel. We have, as we traveled, mostly we've been staying in Walmarts, but we've discovered that Cracker Barrel is a lot easier. They're always close to the highway. They're always quiet. They're not like Walmart, which sometimes tends to be a gathering place for hoodlums and stuff like that after hours.
Not that we don't appreciate Walmart. We've camped at Walmart State Park a lot.
Yeah, but we're really appreciating Cracker Barrel, and that's where we're at right now, is in a Cracker Barrel restaurant.
Yeah.
So
we went and had just a kind of a nice breakfast in there, which was great. A fire in the fireplace. Oh, it makes me feel Christmassy. So Bill cracks me up because honestly, when I do need some clothing, Cracker Barrel is one of my go-tos because the prices can be really good, and it's clothing that works for me. And he goes, yeah, every time I take you to Cracker Barrel, it's a pretty expensive meal. Because this was on 40% off sale, this soft, wonderful vest. It was just almost nothing to buy, and it's just that warm layer that's perfect. for me that I'm really going to use. And so yeah, I'm keeping this on right now because it's I haven't been in colder weather in a long time, and it's going to be colder. So yeah, I picked this up last night when we got here, and like I said, I don't buy expensive clothes. This was 40% off of a very reasonable price already. So good old Cracker Barrel.
So we get comments and questions on a regular basis. Elizabeth, your dress is beautiful. Your top is beautiful. Where did you get it? Well, most of the time, it's from Cracker Barrel.
It's Cracker Barrel.
And for those of you who are not familiar with Cracker Barrel, especially if you're not from the U.S., Cracker Barrel is a restaurant, yes, but it's also a country store. When you first walk in, the whole front room is a country store. They have all kinds of amazing things, and then you go in the back for the restaurant. So it's a fun place to be.
And coming from my very proud hillbilly roots, I absolutely love the place. It's just old-fashioned and friendly, and yeah, I just love Cracker Barrel. The food's good too, I got to admit. So yeah.
So here we are parked in the Cracker Barrel parking lot for the night. Notice that we've got the trailer with us. That's because another thing that we're doing while we're up here is we're going all the way to Connecticut to pick up my grandmother's acoustic piano that I am inheriting. Right now my cousin has it, and we're going to Connecticut to get it from her. And that's why the timing of buying this trailer, because we knew we were going to be going to Connecticut, and you don't want to carry an acoustic piano all that distance in an open trailer. So the piano's going to fit in there, and we can take it back to Virginia.
Yay.
So there we go. Headed back to Virginia, taking you on our travels.
And I just pray that this is going to be a wonderful Christmas season for all of you. And we'll be back to see you soon.
Yep. So thanks for watching.
Live simple.
Live free. You be blessed.
Yeah, love you guys. See you soon.
Right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.